그러면 이어서 해볼까? 그레햄과 스토커의 연관관계를 조사하세요. 이어폰을 끼고 해볼까? 어디로 가야 하나? 그렇구만. 그렇구만. 자, 그러면 여긴 어디야?
Welcome, Citizen Graham. Outdated U-chip firmware detected. Firmware must be updated to use Union City facilities.
I was about to return to give Ember a piece of my mind when...
Transporting you to the nearest safety services.
야, 자동으로 데려다줘? 좋은데? 연관관계가 뭘까? 스토커와 그레햄의. 근데 그레햄의 옷을 봤을 때는 스토커에 타고 있던. 근데 그럼 왜 떨어져서 죽었지? 아, 이게 진짜 시작인 거야? 아, 그런 거야? 이제 진짜 시작하는 거야? 그럼 또 저 까마귀들이 있구만. 로딩 시간이 긴 게 단점이군. 로딩이 긴 게 단점이야. Safety
The
services.
stalkers had come into the city, but looking around, that didn't make any sense. This place was a paradise compared to the Union City I'd left all those years ago. Joey had certainly turned the place around. I had to find the stalkers, and whoever he was, Graham was my only lead. I just had to sort out my U-chip problems first.
와우, 도시가 엄청 크네. 이 사람들하고 말을 걸 수는 없어? 어디로 가야 돼? 세이프티 서비스.
Hello?
Good morning, Graham, Grundy. I trust you are well on this fine day.
Actually,
Aha! Have you tried Dijon buttercream spankles? It's new.
sounds delightful.
That's the spirit. Now, Mr. Grundy, we both know why you're here, don't we?
I guess we do.
Your firmware. It's ridiculously out of date.
Let's get you sorted then, shall we? Go on, place your hand on the platform.
좋아,
Okay, here goes.
해보자.
Well, that's very strange.
What's very strange?
What's very strange?
You said that's very strange a moment ago. Something about my data.
I didn't. You said, what's very strange?
I only said it because you said that's very strange.
Great. What else can I do for you, Citizen Graham?
There was something strange about the ID that I had acquired. While she may have lost the plot, I definitely hadn't. So is my firmware all up to date?
It sure is, Citizen Graham.
Now you can get back to being a top-notch citizen again. I see you have 2 weeks of public voting to catch up on. Better find a terminal and hop to it.
Would you mind scanning my U-chip like you did before?
But, Graham, your firmware is up to date.
Humor me.
Okay. Well, that's very strange.
There, you just did it again.
Because you asked me to humor you.
I mean, you said that's very strange again.
I assure you that I have a precise log of this entire conversation, and I said
희한하네.
no such thing.
It appeared that every time she tried to access my data, the last few seconds of her memory was wiped.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
I'm looking for a vehicle.
Well, a monopod station can be found at either end of the piazza.
Are there any vehicles in the city that have legs?
Polite request for disambiguation. By legs, do you mean a vehicle transporting prosthetics, flat-packed furniture, or fried chicken?
I mean a vehicle with legs for propulsion.
Do you mean a skateboard or scooter?
You are no help.
I'm here to help.
Listen, I don't know if you'll be able to help on this.
I'm here to help.
Okay. I'm looking for a child that went missing 2 days ago.
And from which part of the city did this child go missing?
He was from outside the city.
I can only help you locate citizens.
Thank
도움이
you.
안 되는구만.
Was I helpful?
No.
Yes.
아, 그래?
Would you like to fill out a survey?
Yeah.
그래?
Why not?
Excellent. Question 1 of 100. Are you satisfied?
Whoops. Gotta go. Now that I'd dealt with my U-chip problem, I needed to find out more about my new identity. Graham Grundy.
그램 그란디는 누구냐? 뭐 지도도 없고.
Enjoy this little piece of happiness, courtesy of Minos.
Hey!
Union City wishes all citizens.
The robot was spitting out the occasional motivational message.
구원자 조각서.
I'd never tell him, but Joey's statue looked magnificent. Now that I'd resolved my outdated U-chip problem, it was time to look deeper into my alter ego, Graham.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy aspiration.
이건 다 막혀있는, 미시영 오 미스터리? 역사박물관?
All waste in the
The
bin.
museum wasn't open yet. I'd have to come back later. The droid looked like 2CU after a power wash.
Please dispense all waste in the bins provided.
Hooray! Another customer. Please scan your U-chip to place an order.
The droid had been designed to deliver service with a smile. Excuse me.
Greetings, citizen. Have you come for another extra large fluoride orange spankles with extra foam?
I don't know if that's my sort of thing.
Incorrect. According to your order history, it is your new favorite beverage.
My order history?
Indeed, Citizen Graham. You love it.
What do you do here?
My name is Barry, and it is my pleasure to serve fresh, crisp, premium spankles to the wonderful people of Union City.
Do you prepare the spankles to order?
No, sir. That would be unforgivably inefficient. I merely have to collect the flavor from the dispensary and voila!
Any chance of a coffee?
Spankles?
No, a coffee. Cup of joe.
Toffee-flavored spankles?
No, coffee. Coffee-flavored caffeinated coffee. Coffee.
I have no idea what you're saying right now. However, all ranges of spankles include 250% of your recommended caffeine intake.
What do you know about the council?
The democratically elected body of Union City government, as introduced by Joey. His final gift to Union City was to transfer leadership to those most deserving.
Do you know anything about missing children?
Oh my, that's above my pay grade. Unless they came to this cafe.
I doubt it. Nobody else seems to have heard anything.
Excellent. I'm glad to find myself synchronized with local knowledge. Now, may I recommend you forget your troubles with a cold, crisp can of spankles.
야,
Get
먹어보자.
a can of Spankles.
Simply scan your U-chip here on the counter, Citizen Graham.
Great. What flavors are available?
No need, Citizen Graham. Your favorite flavor will be provided from your order history. I assure you, if you are unhappy with the result, your taste buds can be recalibrated.
가자.
See you later.
You feel a thirst a coming? You talk to me.
VIP 라운지가 있어?
Apologies, but this is the VIP lounge. You do not currently hold the required kudos value.
미너스가 뭐야?
I couldn't access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into. 이게 뭐야? 이게 뭐예요? 뭔데? 아, 여기 너무 복잡하다, 야. 뭐가 너무 많다. I was enjoying my time in the piazza, but I doubted I'd learn much about Graham here. Hi.
It's most excellent to see you
아,
again,
아까 걔구나.
Graham Grundy.
The pleasure is all mine.
How can I be of assistance today?
Thank you.
Until the next time.
다시 저걸 타볼까?
Please embark now.
Welcome, Citizen Graham.
Where would you like to go?
I knew Graham had some sort of connection to Milo's kidnapping. His home would be my best, in fact, my only lead. Take me to Graham... my home.
Lakeview Apartments.
좋은 데
Certainly,
사네.
Citizen Graham.
The city knew a lot more about Graham than I did.
또 로딩 시간이 오래 걸리는군. 오래 걸리는구만.
As I arrived, masquerading as a dead man called Graham, I was apprehensive about what I would find. But I had no choice. I had to find the stalker. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead.
가보자. 그레햄의 집에. 호수. 이야, 전망 좋다야. 여기야?
The seal on the floor showed my buddy Joey just as I remembered him, when I left him in charge
저 여자는
all
누구야?
those years ago.
쟤는 누구야?
Hey, buddy, watch where you're standing.
What's your problem?
Your face, for one.
Excuse me.
Well, if you hadn't been staring at the floor like a moron, you'd have seen me.
I didn't catch your name.
I'm your mama.
What?
뭐?
Do you live here?
Do I look like I live here?
I'm not from around here. Maybe everyone here looks like you.
Yeah, and what do I look like?
Trouble.
Keep walking.
Do you know a guy called Graham Grundy?
Nope. Sounds like a moron.
In that case, let me introduce myself. Graham Grundy.
Doesn't surprise me.
Do you know where I can find Joey?
Oh, I don't know. Weirdo. They say he walked into the gap, or sailed across the sea. Either way, he abandoned us all in this place.
You don't like it here?
Needs more color, wouldn't you agree?
What happened after Joey left?
Well, duh. Council runs the city now.
I'll leave you to whatever it was you were doing.
Aw, really? I'll miss you.
뭐하는?
Yes, I'm very busy.
Hey, dirtbag! What's your favorite color?
Huh?
You heard me. What's your favorite color?
파란색.
Blue?
Lame.
But you're wearing... Never mind.
Later, man purse.
Later, backpack.
Ha! You got nothing.
Clearly not everyone in Union City was quite as courteous as they were happy.
뭐야, 쟤는?
It was another image of Joey, just as I remembered him. Clearly, he'd made his mark.
Commencing spray. Please stand back. Citizen Graham, this is not your residence. Water tank depleted.
Be off with you.
뭐야, 넌?
Commencing refill.
Someone had spilt paint on the floor. Someone had spilt paint on the floor.
Water refill complete. Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence. Commencing spray. Please stand back.
뭐 하나만 올라가?
Tank depleted. Commencing refill. Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence.
Wait, I know that you chip. Oh my, is it really? Yes, it is. Master Graham, you have returned. How wonderful.
Oh, good day, huh?
I shall inform Madam and her guest that you have arrived. She will be so pleased.
No, that won't be necessary.
She will be overjoyed that you have finally returned to the bosom of the family. My apologies for the interruption, Madam Songbird. It's Master Graham.
What about him, Chipworth?
It appears he has arrived home, Madam.
He has, but that's wonderful. Oh, thank Joey. My dear husband is back.
Ah, I was hoping to meet you, Mr. Grundy.
뭐라고?
Mentor Alonso, Ministry of Well-Being. I was just here to investigate some irregularities.
I'm sure my Graham needs a few moments to freshen up. Why don't I show you my kudos records? I don't know who you are, but right now we're both in a lot of trouble. So for both our sakes, you'd better convince the mentor that you're Graham.
Yes, of course.
I'll stall him. Just don't come through that door until you know enough about Graham to pass yourself off as him.
Don't worry. You can count on me. I wasn't sure what I'd walked into. But if I was to convince anyone I was Graham, I needed to find out more about him. His job, his family, his state of mind. The mentor could ask me about anything. Information about Graham was scattered all over the place. All I had to do was look around.
Excuse me, please?
Something told me the fire was not authentic. Definitely an improvement on the food dispensers they used to have here. Personally, I preferred an open fire for cooking. So Graham was a cleaning supervisor? The logo on the uniform was quite distinct. I needed to find out who he worked for. If I slipped up, I'd be exposed right away. After 10 years in the Gap, I'd almost forgotten what a toilet looked like. There was a boot print. Curious. There was a boot print. Curious. Someone had stepped up onto the toilet seat. A box had been hidden outside the window. If I could get the window open, I'd be able to reach that box.
Welcome back, Graham. Displaying your health chart now. It has been 2 weeks since your last checkup. You have lost weight. Congratulations. It has been noted that your height has increased. Adjusting records accordingly. Scanning for medical implants. Error. Implant missing. Refreshing biomodification database. Please wait. Removing cardiac implant registration. Registering Schriebman port as new implant.
The scanner had detected my Schriebman port, which allowed me to interact with Link, the city's old network. Since then, I'd pretty much forgotten about it.
Adjusting your health rating from C to A+.
I was considerably fitter than Graham. That was good to know. Give me a checkup.
Scanning. Your physical health is within the top percentile for a Union citizen. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any advice for me?
A single can of Spankles contains more than your daily dietary requirements. Look for the clown. Drink Spankles. Keep a smile on your face.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
What devices do I have installed?
You possess a U-chip personal data implant in the perlicue of your right hand. It is functioning correctly. Your cardiac regulator implants have been marked as removed. Please return them to your nearest medical waste facility. You possess a Schriebman local interneural connection port in the third cervical vertebrae. This hardware predates the Minos system and cannot be accessed at this terminal.
That's probably for the best.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any further advice for me?
Are you aware that falls while walking are one of the biggest causes of injuries in Union City? Remember, no matter how short the journey, a monopod is always safer and more convenient.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
또
Do you
있어?
have any further advice for me?
Calocephala fimbriata are dangerous carriers of disease. Never approach, and if you touch one, report for immediate disinfecting. Do not feed the birds.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
또
Do you
있어?
have any further advice for me?
Food from outside the city has been found. If you eat Gap food, you are putting yourself in danger.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
또 있어?
Do you have any further advice for me?
Studies indicate that happier people receive better assessments from their peers. Remember, whatever happens on the inside, keep a smile on the outside.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
That's all for now.
Due to the alteration of your physical parameters, a new uniform has been ordered and will arrive at your home shortly. Keep a smile on your face.
I was a lot healthier than Graham. In fact, I'd say Graham was downright unhealthy. I had made some headway, but I still needed to know about Graham's work and social standing.
이걸로 뭘 할 수 있지? 그건 뭐야? 샤워기 안에 못 들어가? 어이.
Tempting, but I'd already had my monthly bath. Rhythmic gymnastics, first place. That looked like Graham and his wife on their wedding day. They looked blissfully in love. Amethyst or purple glass? Either way, it looked expensive. Fairy tales, courtly romances, and art books. A shelf full of sports gear and awards from years gone by. Keep a smile on your face.
정말로. 모르겠다. 이게 뭐한 의미가 있는지.
I was hit by the acrid smell of chemicals. A sword? The blade was cracked. A uniform like the one Graham's wife wore. It was cut for someone much larger. I needed to find out who he worked for. If I slipped up, I'd be exposed right away. You can tell a lot about a man from his shoes. In this case, that the man had no taste. I wondered if Graham self-medicated. Giant scorpions in the sewers, real or fake? Unlikely. The tentacle monsters would have eaten them years ago. When I came to Union City 10 years ago, this was very much the case. These days, I wasn't so sure. Anti-Hobart propaganda. Some things never change. A printer? It was rare to see one of those. How to survive a war. Better just to not be around to see them. Espionage during the Hobart Wars. Nice to see the propaganda was still around.
코르크판.
Among the drawings were photographs, land trains, and the city walls. I couldn't access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into. The council was made up of 5 ministries. Each ministry had their own logo and distinctive color scheme. From the color of his uniform, it was clear that Graham worked for the Ministry of Comfort. I knew quite a bit about Graham's work and health, but I figured I could learn more if I found his kudos records. A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. I wondered what had caused such a sharp decline. I had learned all I was going to from Graham's apartment. I hoped it would be enough.
모르겠다. 확실히는 잘 모르겠다. 이건 뭐야? 이거 움직일 수는 없네?
The droids who stare at goats. A classic. A cavalcade of cryptids. Someone believed in monster stories.
벽난로와 홀로그램 공사기 사이에 있다. 응?
If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham. I needed to find out more information if I wanted to avoid getting caught out. pictures were all of Graham's wife. They were photochemical prints, taken using an old-style film camera. The retro
많이 갔네.
technology had managed to blend songbirds seamlessly into the fake backgrounds. The photography was impressive, but the subject didn't look happy. The pictures in the apartment told a sad story. A blissful romance that had soured with time. At least one person in the city appreciated a nice cup of coffee. Although I doubted Union City Blend contained even an ounce of actual coffee beans.
더 찾을 만한 게 없는 것 같은데.
If I could get the window open, I'd be able to reach that box.
How can I open the window? 저 창문을 어떻게 여는 걸까?
Hello there. Chipworth, wasn't it?
Master Graham, may I say, sir is looking even more fabulous than usual today.
Why, thank you.
Has Master Graham lost weight?
Maybe. Does Master Graham look like he's lost weight?
Oh, yes, sir. And it would appear sir has gained some height as well. Bravo.
Tell me, Chipworth, who was that woman just now?
But that was sir's wife, Madame Songbird.
Yes, of course. My wife.
Is sir quite feeling himself?
It's fine. I've just been having a difficult few days.
How serendipitous that the well-being mentor is here then, is it not, sir?
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
I am sorry, sir, but the window controls are in Madame Songbird's room. I would not wish to disturb the mentor while he is with her. Her meeting is apparently of the highest priority.
I see. We shouldn't disturb her then.
Indeed, sir. However, if the air temperature is a concern, might sir consider dispensing with his coat?
It is rather warm.
And pungent, sir.
Chipworth, tell me everything you know about me.
Request respectfully declined, sir.
But aren't you my butler droid?
Yes, sir. I have been sir's butler for a very long time.
Then why can't you tell me?
Standing orders, sir.
Whose orders?
Your... nice try, sir. Almost had me.
Graham had made sure his droid wouldn't talk. I had to do my own investigating. Tell me about that woman.
Woman? Can sir possibly be referring to his good lady wife?
Humor me. For instance, her name would be...
Madame Songbird. Clearly, sir is not feeling quite himself today. Sir might recall he even forgot dear old Chipworth's name earlier.
Who?
Me, sir.
So, what do you do, Chipworth?
Whatever sir desires.
Can you juggle?
Sadly, sir, one's capabilities are restricted to the minutiae of domestic service.
Shame.
We are what we are, sir.
At least as far as anyone else needs to know. Who was that guy in here when I arrived?
Is Sir referring to the gentleman currently probing your wife in the bedroom?
I guess I am.
That would be the Honorable Mentor Alonso, Senior Officer at the Ministry of Well-Being. I believe that he would like to see you next.
He would?
Mentor Alonso indicated that there were one or two anomalies in Master Graham's records. Public voting, kudos levels, employment, whereabouts within the city.
Just some minor things, then.
Consumption patterns, biosigns, indication of physical existence.
I think I get the picture.
But I'm sure there's a simple answer, Master Graham.
This mentor, what will he ask me about?
The Ministry of Well-Being is always concerned, sir, with the citizens' well-being.
Well-being?
That's right, sir. A citizen's health and happiness, their relationships and social life, all of the utmost importance to the Ministry. He might also inquire if Sir needs any support in the workplace or similar.
Why exactly was I selected?
I believe Sir's 2-week-long work, poll, and social hiatus may have raised some concerns.
정말
Just be
친절한
yourself, sir, and you
사회로구나.
will be fine.
Of course, because I am Graham Grundy. Have a super day, Chipworth.
Serving you, sir. Every day is super.
가보자. 더 이상 나
Excuse
뭐,
me, please.
더 이상 모르겠다. 못 찾겠다.
If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham. I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point on, I had to be Graham Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here
Alonso?
monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
So, Mr. Grundy.
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
Comfort. I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Ah, here we go. Graham Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A+ now.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
B+.
I didn't spot a plus on the record. Must have been my mistake. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion. Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
You mean the sewers?
Interesting. Your file says land trains and extra-city commerce.
Oh, can't get anything past you, Mentor Alonso. Graham's making another of his little jokes.
Oh, yes. Very amusing. Had me going there.
Now, Graham, let's take it seriously from here. I'm sure Mentor Alonso has places he'd rather be.
Of course, please continue.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy.
어렵네, 어려워.
There we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
You mean my heart regulators? Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
Can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
뭐라고? 그걸 믿는다고?
Well, that's a relief. I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Possibly. It's as plausible as everything else you've told me today. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. Now, it's clear to me that your recent concussion has had some deleterious effects on your memory. You need some time to recuperate.
Of course, Mentor. I shall see to it that he gets the care he needs.
Oh, I have no doubt that you will. And to support you in this, I converted some of your kudos to grant you both some time off work.
Our kudos? Wait, how much?
Oh, nothing too severe. Just enough to give you some time to reflect. You may notice a slight dip in your social tier, however.
But the Aspiration Day Gala... tonight...
Yes, won't it be something? I am so looking forward to it. Anyway, keep a smile on your face.
You too?
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
What in the name of Joey do you call that sorry performance?
Maybe I could have tried harder.
Look, Buster. Everything was fine until you turned up. I'd dragged my kudos all the way up to Class B for that gala. I don't want time off. I want my gala tickets. If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish before Alonso's analysis comes back. Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What? How? Where?
I found him. In the Gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo.
Chipworth, 일로 와.
Excuse me, please.
Chipworth?
Hello, Master Graham.
뭐야?
What's this about a celebration tonight?
The Aspiration Day Gala. Madam Songbird was so looking forward to it. It is most unfortunate that she'll no longer be permitted entry.
Why? What happened?
Mentor Alonso has deemed you to be somewhat in need of care. He kindly converted Madam Songbird's kudos into more holiday days, so the two of you can spend some quality time together.
And what has that got to do with the gala?
Well, she now no longer holds the required level of kudos for entry.
So you're saying that it's my fault?
Would Sir like me to place an order for a bouquet of flowers?
Good idea. I think it's gonna need to be a really big bouquet.
Very good, sir. Order processed. Order shipped. Order out for delivery.
My wife mentioned I had a contact. Any idea who that could be?
Perhaps you might ask her, sir. I fear I am not able to elaborate any further.
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.
Good. 오케이. 자, 이제 한번 해볼까?
The mentor, Alonso, seemed to be arguing with someone.
멘토가 어디 있는데? 저기야?
It was something taped to the air conditioner. The gang had a ferocious beak. I was lucky not to lose a finger.
얘가 진짜 악당이네.
The tape was too flimsy to warrant a crowbar. The gang had a ferocious beak.
아, 이놈의 새 진짜.
The plants needed watering badly. The gang had a ferocious beak. I was lucky not to lose a finger. There wasn't room to swing a cat, let alone a crowbar. Besides, she was guarding her nest. It didn't feel fair. Here you go.
오케이.
Whatever was in the box, Graham had clearly not wanted anyone to find it. Inside was a small glass lens. It had deep cuts scored across its surface. But that wasn't all. Tucked beneath was a photograph. A picture of a stalker. A child's face pressed against the window. Suddenly I realized that it wasn't just Milo. It was clear that multiple children were being taken into the city, and somehow Graham was connected to it.
그렇다 치고. 이건 뭐야?
Union City Red. I suspected it was more fruit juice than wine.
수정.
Amethyst or purple glass? Either way, it looked expensive.
저런.
The box was for a deluxe hollow plinth replacement lens. There was nothing inside. A sword? The blade was cracked. A cavalcade of cryptids. Someone believed in monster stories. Looked like these photos were taken by the city walls. You can tell a lot about a man from his shoes. In this case, that the man had no taste. A printer? It was rare to see one of those. How to survive a war. Better just to not be around to see them.
저 보석을 어디서 봤는데.
Espionage during the Hobart Wars. Nice to see the propaganda was still around. Among the drawings were photographs, land trains, and the city walls. I didn't think Songbird would appreciate me rummaging through her things. In Union City, even the teddy bears had screens. This one was broken.